So I've been looking at this all wrong. Instead of looking at great presidents and seeing their accomplishments, you should talk about the great accomplishments and then see where those great accomplishments came from. Because it's the deeds, it's the actions, it's the programs and departments that were passed. And so the departments that have helped me, Department of Education, EBT, Medicaid, interstate system, the dollar, throughout my lifetime, I am going to talk about the history of these, the Department of Education, the food program, Medicaid, interstate system, and the dollar. Now, I like other programs, the Homestead Act, the Marines, Wagner Act, NASA, and Social Security, Head Start, Job Corps, some other ones, but essentially, I don't benefit from those directly, but I can understand that, they're good for other people. So the U.S. Food Program, this is JFK and LBJ. Now you got some, reps and senators, Milo Perkins and Henry Wallace, a progressive, like a true blue progressive, a Henry Wallace. And then you also had, what's his name, Robert La Follette, and then Teddy Roosevelt. They actually ran as a progressive, like under the progressive name, progressive banner, progressive political party. Now, JFK, he promised to Appalachia he was going to start this food program. As soon as he got in, the very first executive order of JFK, fucking food program. So he did it by executive order. The very first thing is a campaign pledge. First thing he did as president, got the food program going, got the food program moving. JFK starts the thing. LBJ consolidates it because on January 31st, 1964, he calls for a permanent food program. Now, 2008, it was food stamps because they actually had stamps, but then there's EBT. They actually changed the name to SNAP. So SNAP benefits is what the U.S. food program is called today. But essentially, we all, as humans have a right to food, water, clothing. We have to survive, right? So the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is food, water, clothing, shelter, security. So we all have, in order to life, liberty, and property, and the rest of the rights, we got to have, life, healthcare. Healthcare is life. So 1964, you had the food program, some kind of food program act in 1964. Bob Dole is going to vote no against it. It's incredible how these motherfuckers are just a bunch of oppositional assholes. Bob Dole votes no, but then it became impossible to do so in 1977, so the program had been going on for 13 years. And then eventually Robert Dole, who ran against Bill Clinton in the 90s, voted yes, and so did George McGovern. So McGovern and Bob Dole voted for the 1977 U.S. Food Program Act. And that's not the exact name of it, but that's the gist. That's the idea. Now, today, in D.C. and Mississippi and New Mexico and West Virginia, Louisiana, Tennessee, and Oregon, which is shocking, but maybe that's why Oregon has to be progressive, because it's like 20% of everybody in those 6 states plus D.C. are on the U.S. food program. 1 out of 5. You go into Tennessee, 1 out of 5 Tennesseans. So it's incredible how conservative Tennessee is when 1 out of 5 of them are on government cheese. And I bet you they're a bunch of assholes and they pretend that they're not on government cheese. And so it's ridiculous. You're voting for a bunch of assholes that's cutting fucking food stamps, and you're cutting your own, the supplemental income is what they... So you're cutting your own supplemental income. Louisiana, Tennessee, Oregon, 1 out of 5 of your people need the food program, America's food program, to live. Mississippi, New Mexico, West fucking Virginia. In fact, it's 20% for those states. It's actually more disgusting when you look at Owsley County and Wolfe County, Kentucky. Wolfe County, Kentucky, 42% of the people in Wolfe County are on, food stamps, which is okay. I don't mind. Everybody has the right to eat on SNAP benefits. What I don't like is the hypocrisy. Look at Owsley County, Kentucky. 49% of Owsley County, Kentucky are on SNAP benefits. They get free food from the government. And the government, the Department of Agriculture, doesn't just provide food stamps for the, how many people? Millions of people, right? It's 40 million Americans. So the U.S. food program currently, for 2018, fed 40 million Americans. There's 330 million Americans. So, do the math. You do the math on that. What, 1/10? So 1 out of 10 people are being fed by the federal government. 1 out of 10. 18% of SNAP benefits goes to Walmart. In fact, it was corporations that lobbied for it and continues to lobby for it. Walmart, Pepsi, Kroger, Coke, and Kraft. They lobby for SNAP benefits. It helps their bottom line. 18% of the $571 billion goes to Walmart. 18% of the SNAP benefits goes to Walmart. $571 billion. $571 billion. Meanwhile, Owsley County, half of Owsley County, if they actually lived up to their rhetoric, 1,200. I saw the election for senator. You had 1,200 voters for the Republican primary and 200 voters for the Democratic primary. So you got way more Republicans in Owsley fucking County, Kentucky than you have Democrats. You got 1,200 Republicans versus 200. So the percentage is fucking gross. It's disgusting and despicable. I mean, basically it's, 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 are Democrats. And, the Republican motherfuckers are taking all the damn food stamps and then pretending like they're not. They're taking all the government jobs, all the government benefits, and they're pretending like they're not. They're not taking any of the government stuff. So I can't stand the hypocrisy of Owsley County. How come half your people are on fucking food stamps and 1,200 Republicans are voting? So basically, the majority of the voting public are Republicans. So you're fucking yourselves over. You're voting against your own self-interest. You're voting against the working class people. You're voting against Owsley County. The Republicans, the 1,200 Republicans, are voting against the people of Owsley County to have food. And food is, you need shelter, warmth, food, water, security. These are basic human needs. Another name associated with the food program is Leonore K. Sullivan. So don't forget to give Milo Perkins, Henry Wallace, and Leonore K. Sullivan credit for the food program, the federal food program, the EBT food program, SNAP benefits, the JFK, LBJ. And every time you go and spend your, EBT, your food stamps, and you should be like, God damn, thank you, JFK and LBJ and the Democratic Party for supplementing our income. Thank you for allowing us to, you give us $200 or whatever a month, or $1,000 if you got, more. Everybody that uses EBT, if they did that in Owsley County, I bet you the people that even take food stamps and benefits pretend that they don't. I bet you they pretend that they don't. I bet you they are embarrassed because the leadership's all a bunch of Republicans. And hell, maybe the Republicans in Owsley County are doing good enough, and it's not them who's on food stamps. It's just their neighbors and their, friends and family and neighbors. So they're not being very good Christians. We got a right to eat. And if you don't have any food or water or warmth or shelter or security, go ahead and get you some food and water, and you need those things to live. So there you go. And who we're going to give credit? We're going to give JFK and LBJ. Those are the two presidents we're going to give credit to. And some presidents expanded it. Some of them, rolled them back. We still have them. I benefited a couple times off of it. So, yeah, thank you very much, JFK. Thank you very much, LBJ. Thank you very much, Leonore K. Sullivan and Henry Wallace and Milo Perkins for the federal food program.